In the heart of New York City, where thousands rush through crowded streets every day, an ordinary morning turned into a life-or-death moment. John, a devoted dog owner, suddenly felt a sharp pain in his chest. Panic surged through him as his world blurred, and he began to collapse on the busy sidewalk. But he was not alone. Max, his courageous German shepherd, sensed something was terribly wrong. Without hesitation, Max sprang into action. His eyes filled with determination, and his powerful bark pierced the noisy city air. Strangers stopped and turned, drawn by the urgent cries of the brave dog. Max's loyalty was unwavering. He would not leave John's side until help arrived. This is a story of how one dog's courage and quick thinking saved a life amid the chaos of NYC. It is a powerful reminder of the unbreakable bond between humans and their pets. New York City is a place where life never slows down. The streets are always full of people rushing to their destinations, cars honking, and the sounds of the city echoing everywhere. Amid all this noise and movement lived John, a quiet and gentle man who found peace in the companionship of his dog, Max. Max was a large German shepherd with bright eyes and a strong spirit. From the moment John brought him home, Max was more than a pet. He became John's closest friend and protector. John was getting older and sometimes felt weak, but Max gave him a reason to keep going every day. Every morning, John and Max had a routine. They would leave the small apartment, stepping out into the busy streets, and walk around their neighborhood. Max loved these walks. He sniffed the air, explored every corner, and greeted other dogs with a friendly wag of his tail. John enjoyed these peaceful moments, too. They were his escape from the stress of the city and a chance to feel alive. The bond between John and Max was deep. Max was always alert, watching John carefully as if he could sense how fragile his health was. John trusted Max more than anyone else. He knew that no matter what happened, Max would always stay by his side. That morning, the sky was clear, and the sun shone warmly through the tall buildings. John felt a little more tired than usual, but decided to take Max for their usual walk. They moved slowly through the crowded sidewalks, the sounds of chatter, traffic, and footsteps all around them. People passed by without noticing the small pair walking quietly in the middle of the chaos. But Max was alert as ever, occasionally stopping to check his surroundings and keep an eye on John. The city was busy, but for these two friends, time seemed to slow down. What no one expected was that this ordinary walk would soon become a moment of true courage. Max's loyalty and bravery were about to be tested in a way John could never have imagined. The bond between man and dog would shine brightest during the darkest and most dangerous minutes ahead. As John and Max continued their walk, John suddenly felt a sharp, crushing pain in his chest. It came out of nowhere, like a heavy weight pressing down on him. His breath became short, and his legs started to wobble. For a moment, John tried to ignore the pain, hoping it would pass, but it only grew worse. Max noticed a change immediately. His ears perked up, and his eyes grew wide with concern. John slowed down and then suddenly stumbled. Max rushed to his side, staying close and ready to protect him. John's vision blurred, and he felt dizzy. The busy city street seemed to spin around him. People walked past without noticing, too caught up in their own lives to see the danger unfolding right there. John tried to call out for help, but his voice was weak and barely audible. Max did not hesitate. He knew something was very wrong. His strong bark echoed loudly, piercing through the noise of the city. Max moved quickly, nudging John gently but urgently, trying to keep him awake and alert. John collapsed slowly to the ground, unable to stand any longer. Max stayed by his side, licking his face and staying close to keep him calm. The brave dog refused to leave, even as John struggled to stay conscious. Passers-by began to notice Max's urgent barking and the scene unfolding on the sidewalk. Some stopped and looked around, unsure what was happening. Max ran toward a nearby woman and barked loudly, trying to get her attention. The woman saw John lying on the ground and rushed over to help. Max's quick action saved precious time. The woman called emergency services immediately, explaining the situation. John's life was hanging by a thread, but Max's loyalty and bravery had brought help just in time. In those critical moments, Max showed the power of a dog's instinct and love. He stayed calm and focused, doing everything he could to protect his owner. The heart attack was sudden and dangerous, but thanks to Max's courage, John was not alone. As John lay on the sidewalk, struggling to breathe, Max's instincts took over completely. He stayed right by John's side, never leaving him alone for a second. Max's eyes were full of concern and determination. He knew his owner needed help, and he was ready to do whatever it took. Max began barking loudly and continuously, his voice cutting through the busy city noise. His barking was not just random, it was urgent and full of meaning. People nearby started to notice. Some looked around, confused by the loud, repeated barking. Max ran towards several strangers, trying to catch their attention. His strong body moved quickly from person to person, barking and pawing at their legs. One man stopped and knelt down to see what was wrong. Max barked directly at him and then ran back to John, encouraging the man to follow. The man looked at John lying on the ground and quickly realized something was very wrong. Max's actions had brought a stranger to help just in time. The man took out his phone and called emergency services. Max stayed calm but alert, keeping close to John as if guarding him from any danger. While waiting for the ambulance, Max continued to comfort John by licking his face gently and resting his head on John's chest. Max's presence helped John stay as calm as possible during the terrifying experience. As the sirens approached, more people gathered, amazed at the dog's loyalty and quick thinking. Some tried to help by clearing space with the paramedics and offering water to John. When the ambulance arrived, the medical team immediately began helping John. Max watched carefully, never moving far from his owner. The paramedics praised Max for his behavior, saying the dog had made a big difference by alerting people quickly. Thanks to Max's brave and smart actions, John was saved before the situation became worse. The heart attack could have been fatal, but Max's courage and love changed everything. This heroic dog had not only saved a life, but also shown the true meaning of loyalty. Max's story is a reminder of how much pets care for their owners, sometimes more than we realize. The ambulance arrived quickly, its sirens cutting through the city noise. Paramedics rushed to John's side, immediately checking his pulse and breathing. Max stayed close, watching every move, as he understood that John's life depended on the help arriving right now. The medical team carefully lifted John onto a stretcher and prepared him for the hospital. Max, still loyal and protective, stayed near the ambulance, barking softly as if saying goodbye and promising to wait for his friend. At the hospital, doctors worked hard to treat John's heart attack. John was still weak but stable, thanks to the quick response by the emergency team and, most importantly, Max's brave actions. The doctors told John later that if help had come a few minutes later, the outcome might have been very different. John's recovery was slow but steady. Every day, Max was there by his side, offering comfort and love. The bond between them grew even stronger after that terrifying day. John realized how lucky he was to have such a courageous and caring friend. Friends and neighbors who heard the story came to visit John and Max, amazed by Max's bravery. Some even shared stories of how dogs had saved lives before, but none felt as special as Max's heroic moment in the heart of New York City. John began to tell everyone about Max's courage, hoping it would inspire others to appreciate their pets more. He also learned more about heart health and how important it is to listen to warning signs. Max became a local hero. People in the neighborhood started calling him the guardian dog. Max's story spread through social media, reminding many about the incredible loyalty and love animals can show. John never forgot that day. The pain, the fear, and the overwhelming relief that came with Max's help stayed with him. But above all, he felt deep gratitude for his best friend, the dog who saved his life. The story of John and Max is a beautiful example of the special bond between humans and their pets. It shows how love, trust, and loyalty can create a powerful connection that goes beyond words. Max's brave actions during John's heart attack saved a life and reminded everyone of the incredible things animals can do. Dogs like Max are more than just companions. They are family members who watch over us, protect us, and give us comfort when we need it most. Max's courage came from his deep love for John. He knew something was wrong and acted without hesitation, showing the true meaning of devotion. John's recovery was a journey filled with challenges, but Max was by his side every step of the way. The dog's presence brought joy, hope, and strength during the hardest times. Their story inspired many people to appreciate the bond they share with their own pets and to never take that love for granted. This story also reminds us of the importance of being aware of our health and seeking help quickly in emergencies. Thanks to Max's quick thinking and the kindness of strangers, John received the care he needed just in time. In the busy city of New York, where life often feels rushed and impersonal, the friendship between John and Max shines like a bright light. It teaches us that no matter how fast the world moves, a moment of bravery and love can change everything. Max is a true hero, not because he wore a cape, but because he acted with a heart full of courage. His story encourages us all to cherish the pets in our lives, for they may one day be the ones who save us when we need it most.